Yeah. We are going to continue the whole paranormal experience series, and it's going to be every Wednesday from now on, since we will be uploading on Normal. You need to stop. You look like your sweater. On normal months, we are going to be uploading Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. We're doing several series because we noticed that we never introduced ourselves to you guys properly. So we want to do a series of like getting to know us from the beginning to now. And there's like no intro video where we explain kind of like our hobbies, who we are, where we come from, or whatever. So we want a specific day for that, and it's probably going to be Mondays or Thursdays or Fridays. I don't know. We don't know yet. But for now, it's just going to be paranormal on Wednesdays for sure. And then just know there's going to be several series like the paranormal one, the get to know us. There's going to be challenges. But that will come as days go by. But today we're going to be doing the paranormal one. And I guess we can get started with it already.
Alright, well, first of all, if you guys want to continue the series, please hit that subscribe button, you know.
Now, for what you guys have been waiting for, we're gonna talk about how it started with both of us together. Obviously, when we were dating and going to school, Edgar would tell me his experiences. It all changed once I already moved in, because about 2 weeks after I moved in, we went over to his family over there in Bakersfield. And that's when the first one happened where I was part of it. And that's when I started believing him, and I started like getting anxious of sleeping at night because I didn't want anything to happen again. But you could start.
So we went to Bakersfield to go celebrate my little brother's birthday with my dad's side of the family. After the party, Chelsea was really tired, and I told her, let's just go rest. We went to my aunt's house. We were all sitting down in the living room. They were watching a movie called The
Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah. They were watching it. I showered, and then I just sat back down. I knocked out. I was exhausted.
When I was watching the movie, I was feeling really uncomfortable because I'm not a scary movie type of person. But it's not like I hadn't seen any back then. I just knew like I might be able to sleep or I might not be able to sleep. Should I keep watching this? I decided to finish it to the end, but I was feeling antsy throughout the whole movie. And Edgar was like knocking out, and I wanted to knock out, but I didn't want to be disrespectful towards his aunt and be like, can we go to the room already? So I was just waiting on like his aunt to say something. The weird thing is that when we were watching it, Edgar kept waking up.
Like I kept having like those jump scares, but like I wasn't watching the movie or anything.
He was
like that.
Yeah. You were twitching a lot. He was twitching a lot. I remember, and I was twitching a lot too. And I'm not a twitcher. And then like I was just watching the movie, and then like my arm would jump or something, and it wouldn't be anything scary. Like I was just twitching. And then I noticed he was twitching too, and I was like, okay, what the heck? This is weird. Maybe like I need to go to sleep. My body's tired. And I'm one who goes to sleep around like 9 to 10, and his family's one who sleeps like around like 3.
1, 2, 3, it depends.
Yeah. We went to bed after his aunt
She offered us the room.
And I was like, okay. So we were in the room, and then I was knocking out like normal. But it was that type of going into sleep where you're half up, half asleep. And I wasn't thinking much of it. I was literally like knocking out. And out of nowhere, I just feel all of these scary images bunched into one. And they just hit me at once. It was kind of like a millisecond of a bunch of scariness. Like a montage of just like scary movies in a millisecond. And then it scared me. You know that moment when in scary movies people gasp? They literally sit up to how I'm sitting right now. That's technically what happened, and it has never happened to me before. Literally, I was just laying down, and out of nowhere I'm like, and I didn't think much of it. I was just like, okay, maybe it was a nightmare. I have to go back to sleep. And then literally like 3 seconds later, Edgar's like, you felt that too. And I was like, what the heck? Felt what? Like, don't tell me. Let me go to sleep. You could talk to me tomorrow in the morning. I didn't say it, but in my brain I was like, tell me in the morning. Don't tell me right now. You know how I am. I told you ever since we started talking, I am a very scaredy cat type of person. So when he said that, I was like, oh no, this better not be what I think it's going to. But what I felt also was that during that millisecond of scariness, I had a charm necklace, and I had it in the center of my chest, but I was leaning towards the left, and I was also feeling it kind of like drag against my body, but it felt so uncomfortable. It felt like someone was like touching me like this. That's when the whole millisecond happened. I didn't know what it was, and I could explain what it was because I just felt it. And another thing is, you know when you have nightmares and you wake up with like a chill and like you wake up sweaty but you're freezing? It was like all of that in like, I'm telling you, a millisecond. It wasn't even a second. It how it happened like in a snap. But Edgar can explain what happened in his side of the story.
So while that was happening, like Chelsea said, she was half asleep, but she was still there. And it's so weird because my eyes kind of like were open, so I knew what was surrounding me and all that. And I noticed that the corner of the room, it started getting pitch black, and I started getting like these random chills. I started getting cold, and I felt like something on my legs like dragging up. And like I was like, oh my god, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna get a sleep paralysis next to Chelsea. I'm like, this is the first time, I haven't had one in a while. And literally, like, I felt it. I was like, okay, like, I'm just gonna let it happen. I'm just gonna, you know, not yell, not gonna gasp for air. Like, I'm not gonna try to scare her because I know she's gonna get freaked out. So as it was happening, like, I literally felt so uncomfortable. But it just started going slow. Like, it felt like my whole body was doing this. And then, like, once it reached right here, that's when Chelsea was like, and I was like, you felt that too.
I was like, no.
I was like, oh my god, you felt it too. And like, it's weird because after Chelsea did the thing,
it went away.
It went away. Like nothing happened.
The party was over. We were kind of like just talking about it the whole 3 hours back. We were like, this happened.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what's going on? And then, no, I'm such a curious person. I ask so many questions. So I was like asking questions. Like, has this happened before? Blah, blah, blah. And that's when he was like telling me more of his stories, because he like usually doesn't tell me that much because I'm a scaredy cat and I don't ask for it. But since I was asking for it, he was just like telling me. And we were back in San Bernardino, and it's hard to tell if it was a week or like 2 days. No, it couldn't be 2 days.
It couldn't be because remember that I was working at the warehouse and then they fired me. They fired me.
Yeah.
Oh no, it happened at the warehouse before I got fired, remember? It's so weird though. Before I walked out of my job, it was a couple days before I sent Chelsea a text message because I started getting like this like magnetic feeling on like the other side of the warehouse where it was pitch black, and I sent her a picture and I told her something is there.
Yeah, he had night shifts.
Yeah, I had
it was in morning one. So from night shifts he shift to morning. But there I would get random text messages and he's like, it's happening again. Nothing happens to me if he is not next to me.
Yeah.
And he said in the warehouse he felt like someone was watching him.
Me.
Not someone, something.
It was pitch black. It was like a shadow of a person, but it wasn't a person because
yeah, he
nobody
knew
was there.
It wasn't a person.
It was
and it's not like, oh, it wasn't someone, it was something as in it was a ghost. No, he did not think it was like a ghost type of person, like a person that's a ghost.
And it's so weird though because
he thought it was like a demon.
Yeah,
it was not a person.
Black.
It was not a person.
And okay, like I'm gonna explain how like I thought it was a demon because I would walk in there and I'd be standing, like it was completely pitch black, but on the outside it was pure light because it was the second half of the warehouse where I was working at. And I would just stand there because the bathroom was there, and I just felt like something like weird like on this ear, and I was like, what the heck's going on?
He hears things too. He can hear when something's around. And
I turned and I see like something moving, and I'm like, hello? And like nobody was there, and I started feeling like, I don't know how to explain my feeling. It's just like a magnet. In other words, like if you play with one, like that little like feeling, that's how I felt. Like it wanted to grab my attention, and I know it wants to grab my attention because I focus on it and I know something's calling me.
I'm going to try to scroll all the way up through my messages. And then I'm gonna have to scroll all the way up because I have to see.
Because I remember that's when you moved in, I got you the iPhone.
Yeah.
So you should have the messages.
I have the messages.
And it was crazy because like.
And I don't delete my messages, so everything's in there. I have messages from all the way to March.
I walked away and I walked back and like it happened again, but like I would see like a black shadow like just wandering around, and I was like I was telling you, like, it's happening again.
And I would get the text messages.
Yeah, and then what is it? I walked out that same day. I was too annoyed at my job. I left. I walked out. I went home.
He got fired, but then like
I got fired, yeah.
And they were like, okay, we have something at 4 a.m. So it was about 3:30 because he was just gonna get ready 30 minutes, leave because he didn't care like how he looked or whatever. He just wanted to go to work, especially because it was 4 a.m. So I feel him get out of bed. I was like, all right, babe, I love you, bye. And then he like walked out, and I was like, half asleep already.
It's so weird because when I walked out of my room, when you go outside my front door, there's 2 doors. There's the gate door and the regular door. So I opened the regular door first. I turn on the light switch, and I see like somebody on Chelsea's car.
And that's what sucks. It was my car.
Yeah, like somebody doing this inside her car, and then you see the person like to me, and I was like, I freaked out. Like I was just looking, I was like, what is that? And like all of a sudden I started getting that feeling. I was like, no. And I was just focusing on it. I was like, what do you want? Like I was just looking at it. And like it was just like looking at me. Like it wouldn't stop. Like it was his hands were on the window and he was like this. Like he was just staring at me.
Thing is, his street is also a no end type of street. It's kind of like a U-turn. And it's 3 a.m. There's a guy in my car, and when Edgar said that, I was like, was someone trying to steal my stuff?
But it's because I turned off the light, and like I look away and I turn it back on, and it's gone.
I remember everything by detail. So literally the guy, Edgar said that he was looking at him, and there was just this tension, and he thought it was a guy in the shadows, but it was too pitch black to be a guy in the shadows. Like, you know, when there's a shadow and then the street lights there's some type of reflection. He said there was no type. It was pitch black. There was like a black cutout right there. And then the lights are literally, there's a tiny wall to your right, and then you have to go around to turn on the light. So he said he turns around, he flips the switch, he turns back, and he's gone. No footprints were, no foot stomps
Nothing was there. Yeah. Like literally, like I looked back and it was gone. But it was so creepy because like you see the reflection of something.
And there was
looking
never
at
fingerprints in the car, huh?
We checked the car in the morning. I remember that too. I was like, let's go to your car. I need to see. And
make sure nothing was gone.
Yeah, nothing was there. And I panicked. And I went back to the room and I told Chelsea, like, I need you to watch me walk out to go to work. And she's like, all right. So she was waiting for me. She's like, are you okay? And I told her, I was like, feel my heart. Like, I know something's wrong. And like she started touching my heart. My heartbeat was going really fast.
And then I was scared. And I was like, why are you telling me to go outside? Are you trying to get me killed too? All right, guys.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, we can't go
continue
further.
That.
Because everything needs to be detailed, and we don't want like 30-minute long videos because I know you guys would get tired of it. It would be some repetitive things, over talking. So we want to do kind of like 2 to 3 things that happen at once, because also if we just condense everything together, it's gonna be so kind of like uncut, and it's gonna look all kind of like blended in. You're not gonna know the difference between the 2 stories.
Yeah.
So we explained our first experience together in Bakersfield today. I forgot about the one in the warehouse in the like dark corner, and I'll try to look for pictures and screenshots of our conversations. And then the third one was what happened outside my car. Next week we will go on with what happened after we went. Dude, I'm like getting chills.
Yeah,
and I don't
that
like
one. It just involved their car. That's one of the things that happened.
And that is nothing compared to like what we would hear at night. What Edgar saw once, like, oh my god. We have recordings. Edgar used to take pictures at night, and he would delete it because he thought it was bad luck and that it was still attached to us if he had it on his phone. He deleted it, and I've asked him so many times, like, do you have any backups or something? And he was like, no, I deleted all because I didn't want anything in my phone that could like grab their attention. And I was like, intense, okay, I get it, guys. Because things would happen until we would delete it, and then things would happen again. And
so I feel like no more. We need to continue.
We need to stop this.
We're gonna continue these videos every Wednesday. Stay tuned. If you guys like the videos, subscribe, you know, hit that like button.
Let us know in the comments too.
Yeah, like comment your ideas, guys. We go through the comments, we see it and all that, and I see, you know, you guys are always giving us positive feedback.